It's been over a month since I owned this camera, the Canon M50, and it's not raining anymore, so I think it's a good time to make a review about it. So let's go! Okay, just need to drop by something at work, then we'll talk about Canon M50 after that. On the upside, I'm now done with work, but on the downside, it's starting to rain again. Crap. Okay, let's make a short and practical review about this Canon M50. Okay, first let's talk about color. This was not supposed to be part of my review because I don't have any complaints about the color, but as I was editing and reviewing the clips, I just recently figured out that I like the Canon G7X color profile compared to my M50. But I think that the thing about camera is the more you use it, the more you learn, the more you figure out what color profile is better, and you just get better at it. So let's go back to what I was saying yesterday. Alright, first of all, it's very small. It's almost comparable to a point and shoot. Let me show you a side-by-side comparison to my Canon G7X Mark II. It has a external mic input. That one. It is cheap compared to other high-end cameras that you can compare to it. I got it at $38,500. Not quite sure how much it is in dollars. I think it's around $700 to $750. The less practical upside this camera has compared to the other cameras is its autofocus. It has a dual pixel autofocus that Canon has, which is very superb compared to other cameras. I'll just finish my food, then let's talk about the not so downside of the Canon M50. I wasn't able to finish it outside, so let's just continue this here at home. So if you're focusing to what I was saying yesterday, I was saying the not so downside rather. The not so downside is because its downside is it's 4K and it's 120 frames per second. So if you're asking me, how is that a downside to a budget camera? So here's why. I'm now currently shooting at 4K. The downside about this camera is when you're shooting at 4K, it enhances its crop factor from 1.6 to 2.1. So I didn't move the camera, I just switched to 4K and I'll downsize it when you're watching it. So this is how it looks. It's too cropped in. I'm now back at 24 frames at 1080p. Now, what's the downside with 120 frames per second? So the downside with 120 frames per second is when you use that setting, your scale goes down to 720p. So it only shoots at 120 frames per second at 720p. So what you need to do is scale it up to 1080p. It's good enough for YouTube videos, but if you use it for a bigger screens, I don't think it would look good. Even with that, I think we could still look at the positive side. I don't think you'll buy this camera if you'll use it professionally. I think this is just for YouTube videos. So what I would suggest is only use 4K when you need an extra crop factor, if you want your frame to be more zoomed in. But if you don't need it, then don't use it. Now for the 120 frames per second, don't use it when you're not intended to do it for YouTube videos. So I guess it's just simple. I mean, don't push the camera to the things that it's not meant for. So just stick to doing YouTube videos and you're good with it. Alright, to conclude this video, let's wrap up the good things about this camera that makes it qualify as the best budget YouTube camera for 2018. So I think the major upside is it has a flip screen, it has very small form factor, it has an interchangeable lens, you could put mic on it, its autofocus is very reliable, the dual pixel autofocus is just superb compared to the other brands. its price, it's cheaper than the 80D, it's cheaper than the A6300. It's slightly more expensive to the 200D, but it justifies the difference. So yeah, I think it's the best budget camera for YouTube in 2018. But of course, in 2019 and the coming years, I'm sure they'll make a better camera than this. But for now, I think it's just the best budget camera for 2018 in YouTube. That's it for me in this video. Peace. I'm out. Bye. For the next videos, we're back at the short haircut. So that's it. Bye.